It's senior NFL reporter from Pro Football Network, Adam Beasley, who I had the pleasure of spending the morning with at Dolphins training camp. Beasley, it's good to talk to you after I saw you.
Yeah, I've reached my Appel max, I think, after this conversation. So this is probably good for about a month, Josh.
Yeah, you were telling me off the air, though, a couple days ago that you were just dying to see me again in person. So I'm not really sure how much truth was in that last statement. But, Bees, let's start here. Tua signs. We had you on plenty of times talking about what we thought that contract would look like. What do you make of the contract he signed and how the situation kind of went from we're not sure if it's going to get done anytime soon to wrapping up here pretty quick?
Yeah, I think it was a win for both sides. Certainly it got to the number one thing he wanted, which was long-term security, $167 million, I think, guaranteed. The next 3 years of his contract this year and the two after are fully guaranteed. The Dolphins do have, a chance after that 3-year window to reassess. But that's an enormous chunk of change for a guy that up to this point had made, I think, $30 million total or something like that in his entire career. So big step forward for Tua. But I also think it was a win for the Dolphins because, it is so difficult to find a quarterback of Tua's ability. I know we can talk about his limitations. We can talk about late season issues and injuries and all that. All that being said, dude led the league in passing last year, was a Pro Bowler, has never had a losing season as a starter in his first 4 years, and that was also playing first two under Brian Flores, who didn't believe in him at all. And he has developed year in, year out, and we've watched him in training camp. He continues to look really, really good. So the Dolphins get, some cost certainty, certainly at the position, which is an important thing at quarterback. And they don't have to go find one now. And they believe that they have, because Tua didn't insist on breaking the bank. It's not a record-breaking contract. That's a ton of money, obviously. He's one of the 5 highest-paid quarterbacks in NFL history now. But when you go and look 2026, 2027, 2028, his percentage of the Dolphins' cap is very reasonable, so they can continue to build around him. I think if you were going to draw it up, this was the scenario, that a big chunk of guaranteed money, but certainly not fully guaranteed for the whole 4-year extension, which was never with non-starter, was never going to happen. The Dolphins, again, have cost certainty, but they also have the ability to go and sign players around them and field a complete team in the years to come.
And B, somebody else that signed recently too, and I'm sure we'll get back to Tua, but Jordan Love, 18 games started over Tua's 50-something. Like, was that contract justified as well? I'm with you on Tua, but I love Jordan Love. I think, he had a hell of a run, beat the Dallas Cowboys, played well last season, but he just got more money than Tua got.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, they've seen practice reps that we haven't, of course, so they know what he is capable of far better than we do. But you're absolutely right, Channing. I think the Packers got caught in a bad time. They would certainly have loved to have gotten another year to evaluate Jordan Love, but then you do that, you make him play out his 5th-year option, and things get really hairy. You might have to franchise him, which never makes the player happy, potentially. And it's not likely, but he would reach the open market. But even if he didn't, if he balls out again this year, the cap continues to rise next. That whatever it was, $55 million a year, because could become 60 or even 65 just because of the nature of the position. Every single high-end quarterback is going to either meet or exceed the market. And we'll see what Dak gets. There's talk he might be the first $60 million player. Maybe Josh Allen gets an adjusted contract. These quarterback contracts are going to continue to go up. And so the Packers, even more so than the Dolphins, the Packers made a signing on projection that they believe what they saw in 2023 will continue and improve. And again, they have more information than we do, but I'm with you. That is a far riskier signing in my mind than what Tua got.